Hiya, and welcome back to Tennis Ace, the game that teaches us that June somehow intercepted the brain cell. Anyways, let's just hop right in. Osu! Before I can make up my mind whether I should intervene or keep watching, a boisterous Saya appears, giving us her patented energetic greeting while dragging a despondent Keikun by the arm. Osu! Osu! Hey, Saya-chan. Keikun. Morning. What's wrong, Keikun? Why so glum? Ignore him, he's just being pissy that he has to join us for lunch. That's not what this is, and you know it! I just don't need to be fetched every day like I'm a child. Do you have any idea how embarrassing it is to be dragged around like some kind of toy? And we both know you'd find some excuse to flake on us every single time if I didn't. She's got you there, man. That's 100% true. Whatever. Don't whatever me! You sit now! Alright, fine, I'm sitting. You don't need to threaten me. I did no such thing. You kinda did, sorta, yeah, you totally did. The three of us cut into the conversation at the exact same time, all immediately calling her out on her crap. Whatever. No one asked you three nosy Nancys. What's a nosy Nancy? Nobody knows and we're not supposed to ask. Okay. Did something happen, Keikun? You're in a worse mood than usual. Than usual? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, nothing. Either way, what's going on? You needn't concern yourself with it. There hasn't been anything in particularly happening. Home life is just a touch more delicate as of late. It's a little stressful. How so? If there's something going on, maybe we could help. Like I said, it's nothing that concerns you. Wow, okay, jerk. I was just trying to be a good friend. No, please don't misunderstand. I truly appreciate it. I simply want to avoid involving you in such petty matters. There are better ways to phrase it, but sure, if you say so. Sorry. Have you guys ever noticed that when Keikun gets stressed, he starts speaking different? What? Don't be silly. Huh, now that you mention it. It's true! I didn't even think of it until now, but it's totally true! So, how is everyone else? You all must surely have more interesting things to talk about than me, right? How are you all doing? Bad segue. You get a B for effort. Shush! Just tell me about your silly weekends already. Hiya. Well, about that. Oh no. We were talking about just that when you guys walked in. Shoichi-san was just telling me about how he already knew about Yuichi-san's weekend since they text all the time. June? You're adorable. June, you're adorable and I love you, but if you don't shut the hell up, I'm going to fucking strangle you. Shut the hell up, June! Hiya. I immediately notice Sai making a face when June says that. It's only there for barely a second, but it tells me all I need to know. Given that Sai knows all about what happened this weekend, I'm not really surprised to see her react. What? That's not... What about it? It's not exactly surprising at this point. We all know how close they are. Okay. Do we? Yes. I swear, you're always a bit of an oddball, but it's like you took an extra sip of weirdness juice today. I do? I thought for sure I was being the same as always. You're being weird as hell. Yep, at this point it's pretty obvious that Sai-chan has caught on already as well. She and I exchange a quick knowing glance, pretty much asking ourselves the same thing. It was one thing when it was just Shoichi, June, and I here, but now June is really going a bit over the line. He's teasing Shoichi in front of Keisuke and Saya despite not knowing that Saya already knows. He's risking outing us in front of two people just for the sake of a few laughs. I might as well stop his fun. I clear my throat as loudly as I can, trying to get everyone's attention. If I'm going to do this, I should rip the band-aid before I have time to second-guess myself. Actually, since we're all here, I might as well just say it. Mostly because June is jerking Shoichi around, and that's not nice. Huh? What do you... Keikun, the truth is that Shoichi and I are a couple. Just his face. Yuichi! What? Really? Congratulations. Wait, why was I the one getting called by name here? See? That's how a friend reacts to this kind of news, June! Boo, you're you're no fun, Yuichi-san. My head hurts so badly. What's up with this day? Sorry to drop that without consulting you first, Shoichi. I just didn't like sitting quietly while June antagonized you with the information. What? Are you saying he knew? I kinda let it slip this morning before class. So that's what this whole thing was? No! Well, yes, but it was just a bit of innocent fun. Run. Please hurt me! I'm not a good runner! I'll be nice. But the next time you get any funny ideas, just remember that I also know things. No, not that! I'll be good! I swear! Okay, Shoichi, now you're going too far. Now June is crying. You're going too far. Wait, now I'm confused. Does June have a secret too? Are you talking about him being gay too? He's what? Are you serious? Yuichi, how could you? Is that not the thing Shoichi said he knew? This sure is going well. No! I told you that in confidence! I'm sorry! I didn't think... For what it's worth, I'm sorry too. This is definitely not a good way to be outed. The dog is right. This is way too much chaos to try and make sense of in under a minute. Sorry everyone, this turned into a bit of a mess. You think? What about you, Sae-san? You've barely said a word. I kind of knew all those things already. You what? Oh, please. You think you're so stealthy or something, but you're so incredibly obvious that it's painful. Seriously. I put more work into pretending like I don't know things than you all do at hiding those things. Now I'm scared. I have to agree with him. Woman, I love you, but damn. Just to make sure, Sae-san, does this mean that you... Yep, no, that one too. Sorry. Terrifying. My head hurts so bad right now. This is too much chaos to keep track of. I still would have liked to have a heads up before you dropped the bomb like that. I feel like my heart was going to jump out of my mouth. Me too. Yeah, that was a big screw up there, Yuichi-kun. Sorry. And it goes without saying, but please don't spread things around, okay? Especially you, Kobayashi. It was really cruel of you to keep hinting at it in front of other people. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I promise I won't say anything to anyone. Neither will I. Once both of them are sworn into silence, everyone by the table silently turns around to look at Saya, who's not uttered a single word of agreement. What? Are you expecting me to make a promise or something too? I've been keeping this secret since even before Yuichi knew. When you put it like that, just because it's true doesn't mean you have to say it. At least once this whole damn mess has been cleared up, it didn't take long for the mood around the table skyrocketed once again. If anything, it seems everyone is a lot more cheerful than normal. We eventually sink back into our routine, chatting and eating with a renewed sense of enthusiasm. Though this certainly has given me a lot to think about. Jesus, today's been too hectic of a day. I feel like my brain needs some serious rest. You know, I just noticed that everyone here actually likes guys. Excuse me? Though I guess I couldn't say we also have the same kind of taste in men. I, for one, would never go for Yuichi. Hey! What? Are you mad that I'm not interested in dating you? No, but you still could have been nicer about it. If you say so. No offense, but you're too much of a nervous wreck for me. I need someone who can roll with the punches more. That's because you just happen to throw a lot of them. True. That's really not the kind of thing you should be proud of. Just because we know what we know now doesn't mean we need to have this kind of conversation. I'm never talking about boys with my friends. Hard agreed. I third that notion. Whatever. You're all just a bunch of prudes anyway. Shoichi, aren't you going to say anything? I'd be too much of a hypocrite if I did. I've talked to Saya extensively about crushes. Really? That's just wonderful to know. Shut up, Urushihara! I don't know how I feel knowing that Shoichi and Saya would talk about how into me he was long before we'd started dating. A little part of me feels a bit exposed. Should I say something about it? I'm not sure. But wait, is there any way for me to even say something without dragging even more attention to ourselves? Shoichi already seemed pretty uncomfortable that I outed us out of nowhere like that. Maybe I should step back on the brakes a little. Ah, there you are! Yo, Prez! Before I can decide one way or another on the matter, a familiar voice cuts through our conversation, calling out to Shoichi. Huh? Kiga? What are you doing here? What does it look like I'm doing? I'm being forced to track you down during my lunch break since you refused to sit down and talk to me. Uh-oh. Kasuma-kun, fancy seeing you here. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, sure, whatever. What? Kiga-kun quickly waves off Keisuke's greeting, his eyes remaining focused on Shoichi the entire time. Listen, Prez, you gotta stop avoiding me. That's kinda harsh. I haven't been avoiding you or anything. Yes, you are! At least do me the courtesy of not taking me for an idiot, would you? Hi, Kiga. No, we don't want to join the drama club. But the moment I bring my concerns up to you, you bail. How else am I supposed to take that? I'm not cutting back on my hours, Vice President Kasuma. There it is. The presidential tone of voice. Wait, what's this even about? Cutting back on your hours? The saber cat turns my way, looking at me with big, hopeful eyes. You're someone he listens to. Can you knock some sense into him? He's overdoing it again. Hey, don't bring my friends into this. They have nothing to do with student council matters. I'm afraid we're a little bit lost here. What's Shoichi been up to? Could you not? Yeah, context, please. Yeah, sure, I should have started from there. Prez here quit from the volleyball club recently, which I'm sure you all know. Ordinarily, it wouldn't be a problem. The student council is used to working around his training schedule, so things always worked out really well even with that. Problem is, right after that happened, he started hoarding work like never before. I'm talking ripping papers from our hands while we're in the process of working on them, or canceling whole meetings by saying stuff like, "Don't worry, I'll handle it." He was always a workaholic, but he's transitioned from doing 40% of the student council's work on his own to over 90% of it. And we're barely managing to hold on to those remaining 10% for dear life. What? That's insane. Irata, what the hell are you doing? I don't owe you people an explanation. You can't do all that work on your own. Are you even sleeping? I sleep just fine. Thank you very much. Shoichi. You know, I don't appreciate you coming all the way to air the student council's dirty laundry in front of my friends. I don't track you down and shame you in front of your friends, do I? I don't do anything that makes me require shaming. Okay. Make your guess. So Yuichi basically outed everyone. Yuichi outed everyone, and now Kiga is over here. Join the drama club. Ooh. Join the drama club. Shoichi-kun, we talked about this. Leave me alone. I can do whatever I want. I wish I could act surprised, but come to think of it, this kind of thing is classic Hirata. But you promised you were going to take a step back from work to focus on taking better care of yourself. Yeah, this isn't the first time this subject's been brought up either. Would you please leave me alone? I'm a big guy. I can look out for myself. This is a joke, right? Here, take a look at this. Kiga-kun pulls a piece of paper out from his pocket and unfolds it, showing it off for us all to see. See the penmanship here? What about this last line that trails out of nowhere and goes off the page? This is where you fell asleep while writing, isn't it? That's not... There's even a blurry splotch where you messed up the ink. Did your head smudge the paper or something? Why do you have that? I was sure I hit it. You were so tired, you didn't even remember to hide it. It was mixed in with the expense reports for the council's budget, and this document isn't even part of the council's budget. Not only did you not hide it, you put it in the wrong folder. Oh. Shoichi-kun. Get off my tail. That was just a setback. That's all. Look, I don't know what's going on with you, but we can't help you if you don't let us help. No one in the student council signed up to twiddle our thumbs while you do the whole work, you know. Almost. Almost. Yuichi outed June. Yuichi outed June, and Yuichi was the one who revealed it to the group. Keisuke is still in the closet, though. Besides, we told you to take a leave of absence last week and rest for a bit. You said you would, but not even 2 days later, you were already back at it. That's understandable. I'd be pissed if I were in your situation, too. I have a lot of time in my hands now that I quit volleyball club, okay? And like we said, there was no need for you to even do that in the first place. I know you said you wanted to step back from it to focus on your council duties, but we're more than capable of handling our work without being micromanaged. I've already taken care of the troublemaking members over a month ago. We don't have any incompetent fools lying around anymore. Wait, that's the reason he gave for quitting the volleyball club? Yeah, what about it? That's not... Yuichi! I try to speak up and clarify the issue, but Shoichi cuts me off before I can get a word in edgewise, glaring at me with a shocking amount of anger in his eyes. Enough, at least, to make me lean back on my chair. Okay. Look, I appreciate the concern and everything, but I am ultimately the one who decides my own schedule. If I decided to take in more work, it's because I either have the time for it or want to do it, and none of you get to tell me what I can or can't do. Are we clear here? I had a feeling I'd get an answer like that. Don't talk to us like that, you ass! Then get off my ass! We're just worried about you. You don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea what my work schedule is. You have no idea how long it takes me to do this work, or what I would do if I didn't do it. You just decided all on your own that I'm somehow in the wrong because you think you know what's best for myself than what's best for better than I know myself. That is not your decision to make. I know what I can or can't do better than any one of you do. That's not what we're trying to... Save it. I don't want to deal with this stuff right now. I'm just trying to have a pleasant lunch. And you! Shoichi turns to the saber cat, staring him down with a glare that makes even the tall, imposing feline flinch. For the record, my lunchtime is not available for you to hound me during, especially for things that I've already given you an answer on before. But I'm done here. Let me just pull this blanket up. No, someone put him in the fucking freezer itself. Because he needs to chill down, like, oh my god. Shoichi pushes his chair back, standing back up all of a sudden and angrily throwing his unfinished lunch in the trash before storming out without another word. The rest of us can do nothing but stare at the door, slack-jawed at the sudden, unexpected outburst and unsure of what to do now. I'm really sorry for this. The saber cat sheepishly looks down at the floor, completely averting his eye contact as he bows in apology before hastily running out of the room as well. Oh my god, I'm trying to, like, stifle a sneeze right now. Ugh. Because I got violent dad sneezes. While I stew in my own thoughts, trying to balance my desire to attempt smoothing things over and make them less awkward with that of chasing after Shoichi to make sure he's okay, Sai-chan clears her throat. I guess that's it for today, huh? Yeah, I don't think I'm in the right frame of mind for more pleasant lunch conversation. Sorry to bail out on you guys. It's okay. Things are kinda awkward right now anyway. I open my mouth, letting it hang open for a few seconds as I try and fail to come up with words. Instead, I merely watch silently as Keisuke and Sai collect their still unfinished lunchboxes and leave the room, making it so June and I are left alone in the awkwardness. Before long, I find myself hoping for the bell to ring just so I can have a distraction from this mood, and a distraction from worrying about Shoichi. That whole scene was a bit of a shock. I didn't expect Shoichi to react like that. I think I have a pretty good hunch over what it was about, but I'll still need to confirm it later. The last thing I need right now is to act on wrong information and have it blow up spectacularly on my face. The tricky part will be finding a way to bring it up without Shoichi getting defensive about it. Crap, I'm going to be unfocused for the rest of the day, aren't I? June 27th. Today, even more than usual, I had to arrive at school early. Not that I haven't started cultivating the habit of doing that on my own already, but all the players taking part in the Kanto tournament were asked to meet up so we could discuss travel and accommodations. Even though it's not like our thoughts or opinions will change anything since plans are already set in stone. Coaches need to talk everything to death saw us getting stuck here for over an hour. By the time our little assembly finally came to an end, despite us having arrived so early at school, there was now only about 20 minutes left before our first class. And just like that, the ample time I'd been using leisurely every morning to study and relax was gone before I'd noticed. For the love of, that meeting took way longer than it had any business taking. Every time I feel like coaches' meetings get ever so slightly longer. I don't remember the first meeting I attended taking more than half an hour. And that's annoying if it's true. Either way, where's Mizuguchi-san? I don't know. I'm surprised you'd be thinking about hanging out now. Aren't you the type that spends a lot of time every morning going over his notes and such before class starts? Who said anything about hanging out? I wanted to discuss our accommodations with her. Oh? Is there something wrong with them? Yes. No offense to Hayato-kun, but if I'm going to share a room with someone, I'd much rather it be you. And who says I want to share a room? Really? You're going to hang me dry just so you can get a room all to yourself? I'm considering it. Awful. Can't you just get a room for yourself? I'm sure if you paid for it, they'd have no complaints about it, and we all know you have the money. If only that were still the case. Huh? And never mind. I'm going to look for Mizuguchi-san. I'll see you later at lunchtime. Sure, good luck with your pleading. If you could please tell her that you're okay with sharing a room with me when she asks, I'd appreciate it. Yeah, I will. Just get going already. See you later. Just like that, the hare took off on a dash back inside the building. Although, if he wanted to make sure he'd find her, he could have just stuck around by the gym's entrance. It's not like she has time to just hang back and relax either. Class should be starting soon. Which I could have told him, but I won't lie, it's actually a little funny that he didn't think things through to this degree. For someone so smart, you sure make some silly mistakes sometimes. Yeah, it's awful of me to do that, but it's not like he'll be late for class anyway. What's a few wasted minutes on his part when it brings me this much happiness? Man, I'm a sucky friend sometimes. Still, I don't want to spend my time worrying about something so inconsequential. I merely turn around and start walking to the main building. As I approach it, I notice a familiar figure standing right next to the entrance, leaning against the wall with his arms crossed. Sheesh, finally! How long do those things usually last? They'd put our meetings to shame. I'm sorry? I've been waiting out here to talk to you. I hope it's not a problem. How did you know I was? Or did you check my classroom already? You think a member of the student council wouldn't know about faculty leading a meeting with students about the trip whose budget we approved? Come on. Each and every time, I'm astounded by the level of reach you guys have. Does the actual faculty have any hand in the decisions our school makes at all? What? You think they let us do whatever we want with no oversight at all? Student council is supposed to be training for living and working in society. Of course, all our decisions have to be ultimately approved by the school. It just so happens that our administration has the highest approval rate in the last few decades. There have only been a couple of times where our decision has been overturned by the school. You mean Shoichi's administration? Well, if you want to be technical about it, I suppose. What do you want? Because, no offense, you kind of ruined our lunch yesterday. That was only partially my fault. Partially, huh? Hey, if the guy hadn't put me in a position to need to resort to moves like that, then I wouldn't have. You don't start things off by dropping a bomb. What is it? Look, it's not like I'm trying to be a pest. I'm worried, that's all. And after you heard yesterday, you can't tell me that you aren't too. Ugh, I will grudgingly concede that point. Maybe, but you saw how Shoichi reacted yesterday. What do you expect me to do about it? I expected him to listen to me the first time we talked about it, but we can't always get what we want, can we? Look, I'm all for letting people do what they want, make their own mistakes and whatnot, but I'm starting to get really worried. It kind of feels like Prez is going dark. He's overworking to the point where he's starting to make mistakes, and not just one or two of them, a lot of mistakes. And when a guy like that reaches that kind of point, yikes, yeah, I can see what he means. I have a hard time even picturing little Mr. Perfect getting to a point like that. I'll admit, getting him to listen to us has been a bit of an uphill climb, especially this year. But I really thought we were making some progress, you know? Now it feels like every time we make any kind of progress, something happens that undoes it right away. Like that time one of your guys screwed up a budget calculation so badly during Shoichi's day off that he was called in a hurry. Yes, like that. But we've gotten better, you know? This is my first year as VP, and from day one, my main goal has been nothing but trying to lighten the load on his shoulders. I've handpicked only the most competent people, and gave the boot to everybody else. This just might be the smallest the student council has ever been over the past 3 years, but we work much better now than we did at the start of this year. Of course, it doesn't help that most of the people I gave the boot to were groupies. Who'd have thought they wouldn't have the skills or the work ethics? Yeah, somehow I'm not surprised. Shoichi's got the looks, the athleticism, the brains, of course he'd attract attention. Granted, most of them are well behaved, and the number of girls approaching him has lessened over the years since he has a history of shooting down any and all confessions. Which I know now why that is. Still, even if I agreed with you, what do you get from talking to me about it? He listens to you. Maybe if you were the one talking to him about it in private, then... So you want me to be the one he gets mad at instead of you? I'll gladly shoulder all of his poutiness if I thought it'd get us anywhere. Hell, for the past couple of weeks, I have, and surprise, surprise, look where we are. I hate that you've got a point. I always have a point. It's one of my many talents. Is being annoying also one of them? It can be, if I think it'll get me what I need. You really don't take no for an answer, do you? Would you? If it was something you cared about, something you're personally invested in? I hate when people make arguments I can't refute. Why are you so invested in Shoichi's well-being anyway? I think the first time I met you, you were also going on and on about it. Why wouldn't I be? The guy might as well be my hero. Really? Because he's a good administrator? Among other things, it's actually mostly because he's so flexible, you know? He takes whatever people throw at him and makes the best he can with it. Not to mention the fact that he's a natural-born leader, when he can get his head out of his ass at least. It's just, he might be all those things and more, but he's still not a robot. I just hate to see people who work so hard being taken for granted just because they always get results. Oh, okay. Okay. Have fun. It's like, if the reward for doing good, fast work is just more than what is even the point of excelling, you know? So you, what? Want to right the world's injustices or something? Revamp working society so people can get taken for granted less? Swear to God, I need to, figure out how to speak, oh my God. Nah, I don't have any ambitions that big. It'd be nice, don't get me wrong. But I'm a realist. I'm not going to throw myself at an impossible task just for the sake of some pipe dream. But if I refuse to do something when it's right in front of me and I actually can help, then what does that say about me? Another good point. Man, arguing with this guy must drive Haruki up a wall. I somehow can't imagine him being the type that deals well with getting constantly refuted by calm, rational arguments. Is that why you joined the student council? I thought I was here to ask for your help, making sure your friend doesn't burn himself out. Why does this suddenly feel like I'm being interviewed? You're the one asking for my help. Might as well at least humor the person you're asking favors from. Fair enough. To answer your question, not exactly. My passion has always been theater. I love acting. I love performing. I love pretending to be someone that I'm not. More than anything, I love to see the look of delight on people's faces after a performance. Okay. Don't really see how this and that are connected at all. I'm getting there. Don't rush. Then don't meander. Thing is, I have no illusions on what my prospects are. Becoming a successful actor, the chances are so astronomically low that they might as well be none. And I may be many things, but I'm not the kind of guy that plays the odds. So when I thought to myself, what's the one thing I could do to stay connected to it all even when I grow up? It kind of hit me. Direct? What? No, teach! Are you dense or something? Sheesh, you're the one who asked me a question, so you could at least try to keep up. At this point, I think I'm just going to smile and nod and wait until he gets to whatever it is he's trying to get to. Definitely regret asking the question. The thing is, art programs aren't exactly popular. Many schools don't give much budget or attention to their art programs, even if they have one at all. And theater? Well, theater's not the kind of thing that gets parents to enroll their kids into school, is it? Because of that, schools with strong art programs are few and far between, and getting a teaching job in one is ridiculously hard. It's not enough to just be good. You have to be well connected. You have to know about so much more than just theater and teaching. I joined the student council on the second half of my freshman year here. Our student council is ridiculously competent, and I heard about this junior who managed to get elected council president as a freshman and was whipping everyone into shape. I thought there was a lot I could learn from him. Not just the administrative stuff that I know I'll need as a teacher, but also how to deal with people. How he got people to follow his lead and give him respect, even as a freshman. Do you get how rare that is? I mean, yeah, I've known the guy since we were kids. I've seen what he's gone through. Of course, all that awe-inspiring charisma and competence is for nothing if he burns himself out before he can even do something with his life. I love the dude and respect him lots, but he doesn't know how to pace himself. And if he feels like whenever he's going through something in the personal department, he just throws himself into work even more than before. It's infuriating to watch. I've been trying to curb his workaholic impulses to middling success. But lately, he's been giving me nothing. Ugh. I feel so uncomfortable that I want to look away, if only partially to hide my embarrassment and my guilt. I know I've had some part in Shoichi's recent bouts of stress, what with the stunt I pulled around his dad and with the constant pushing for him to talk to his mom. I've been worrying about it for a while now. I know Shoichi isn't taking his retirement from the volleyball team well, and now that he doesn't have that to distract him and to give him a goal to work to, he might be spinning out of control a little bit. I've suspected all of that for a while now. But just because I know all of that doesn't mean I can think of something to do about it. And the fact that I can't, it makes me ache. It's like my whole body is hurting whenever I start to think long and hard about it. I'd like to think I've had some positive effect on him. At least he seemed more relaxed during our date over the weekend than I've seen him in a while. And it sure beats fighting too. I don't know how to be there for him other than just being there. I don't know what I can do. I don't know if I should do something. The last time I tried to meddle, it almost blew up on my face spectacularly. Honestly, I'm halfway convinced that everything I touch goes to crap. Maybe not literally, but it sure feels that way lately. I can relate to that. I'll try talking to him, but don't hold your breath. I doubt it'll make much of a difference. Hell, if it did, we wouldn't even need to have this discussion right now. Shoichi would be talking to his mom again, he'd still be in the volleyball team, he'd be taking it easy with the studies. Honestly, I have way less influence on Shoichi than this guy seems to think I do. That's all I can ask for. I appreciate it. I'll let you get to your class now. Sorry for taking so much of your time. Good luck. For what it's worth, I appreciate your goal of trying to get Shoichi to take it easy. Heh. I spoke about not being one to try for impossible things, yet here I am. I wasn't going to say it, but since you've already gone and said it yourself, I'm sure I'll get there. Eventually. I'll try talking to you later to see how things went. Take care. Well, guess there's one more thing I have to do now. Granted, I know myself, I probably have brought it up no matter how much I tell myself I won't meddle. I can't help it when it makes me worry. But I wanted to at least look like I was minding my own business. I suppose I could use him asking as an excuse. It's not like I wanted to meddle, but you see, your VP asked me, Shoichi. Heh, right, like that could work. Either way, I'm sure I'll think of something by lunchtime. A few hours later. Yuichi-san? Yeah, what's up? Are you okay? You're spacing out. Nah, I'm not. I'm just copying the stuff on the board. The board's blank? Huh? The bell rang. The board's been wiped clean. It's lunchtime. Huh? Now tell me again that you weren't spacing out. Oops. You're not really an oops kind of guy. It doesn't fit you. I can be whatever I want. This is a free society. I don't think that means what you think it means. What's going on? I guess I have some stuff in my mind. It's not a big deal. Is it about Shoichi-san? Why do you ask? A hunch? You seemed a little rattled yesterday after lunch. Yeah, the way Shoichi reacted to his VP talking to him yesterday worried me a bit. And then he had to show himself again to me this morning. Which definitely didn't help. I spent all my morning wondering to myself what I could even say. I wish I could say Shoichi listens to me and that I'm not worried about the potential repercussions of saying something, but that's just not the case. Things could have gotten really bad if I kept pushing last time we had an argument. Do I really want to have another one so soon? Ugh! I hate not knowing what to do. Hey, don't make that face! I'm sorry I asked! Why are you apologizing? It just looked like I made you remember something bad. You're fine, it's not a big deal. I've been going over this stuff in my head all morning already. Is there anything I can do to help? Not terrorizing my Shoichi again would be a lot of help already. Right. Sorry. Stop apologizing. Okay, sorry. I sigh, reaching up to place my hand atop Jun's head, running my fingers through his fur in an attempt to make him relax. Stop worrying so much, you're fine. That's easier said than done. Osu! Osu! Morning. You guys took a while. Sorry, Sai ended up having to fetch me because I kinda fell asleep during class. What? You fell asleep during class? I know, right? That's so out of character for him. Shoichi-san, is everything okay? Did you not get enough sleep last night? I did. I'm just a little tired. I told myself I'd put my head down for a second to rest my eyes and then... Oh, wow. I can't imagine Shoichi falling asleep during class at all. Is this from the built-up fatigue? You've been working too much, Yurata. I'm fine. It was a one-time thing. And your teachers didn't say anything? If anyone in our class falls asleep, they tend to get woken up right away, and not very nicely either. They apparently ignored me because they thought I needed the rest. I'm not surprised. Every single one of our teachers knows how much of a workaholic you are. If you're falling asleep during class, that means you are overworking yourself. I'm fine, Saya-chan. How many times do I have to say that? Stop making such a big deal about it. So this is what Kigo was talking about yesterday and earlier this morning. For Shoichi to do something like that, I can't even begin to imagine how exhausted he must be. I guess this is a lot more urgent than I initially thought. Shoichi, you should really think about taking a break. Do you all have earplugs or something? Won't you listen to the words I'm saying here? Oh, come on, this sort of thing isn't like you. You're an honors student. You don't fall asleep in class. I was tired. People got tired. That's all there is to it. Let it be. But, I don't mean to interrupt, but this really sounds like it's going to turn into a back and forth argument where no one agrees with the other person. So could we just stop? Before we end up like yesterday? Jun's words that cut to the heart of the issue instantly disarmed Saya, causing her to hang her shoulders in defeat. No one wants Shoichi to storm out like he did yesterday. In fact, getting to that point would probably just make him even more resistant to our help. In which case, pulling back and giving him space for now is probably the best idea. The more we push, the more defensive he's going to get. Shoichi is stubborn after all. Fine. Thank you. It's okay, Mizuguchi-san. You're worried as a friend. It's nice of you to care that much. Just don't push so much, okay? Yeah, sorry. Keisuke places a hand on Saya's shoulder, attempting to comfort her as best as he can. While everyone else has their attention on Saya, I catch Jun placing a hand on his chest and sighing out in relief. Guess even he would get tense in a situation like that. I don't blame him. One look at the fur on the back of Shoichi's neck and anyone remotely intuitive would be able to tell he was about to lash out real bad. It's a good thing that Jun interjected when he did. What bothers me is that I couldn't make myself do it. I knew in my head that I should have said something. I knew that Shoichi was getting angry. But I agreed with what Saya-chan was saying, and I was relieved that someone else was saying it instead of me. So I let her. You're a wimp, Yuichi. How about we talk about something else? Like how we'd all been leaving tomorrow night. We'll all be leaving tomorrow night. Tomorrow night? That's right. You guys had that meeting this morning to iron out the details of the trip to Yokohama, didn't you? Yeah, we did. It was decided that the bus would leave tomorrow at 8 p.m. That late? Yokohama isn't terribly far. It's only a 2-hour trip, so leaving at night isn't a huge issue. Still, won't you be tired? A little, but the school didn't want us to miss class if we don't have to. We absolutely need to be at the hotel by Thursday, so leaving tomorrow night means we don't have to miss class in the morning. They could be a little less stingy with that stuff. Nah, whether you like it or not, this school places really well in the rankings. They'll prioritize studies every time. To them, missing a day of class that doesn't have to be missed would be unacceptable. You just explain the reason why they're being stingy. That doesn't make them less stingy. If you really want to call the school that, then I guess... By the way, Mizuguchi-san, could you ask what we talked about this morning? Oh, I totally forgot. Of course you did. Yuichi-kun, Kei-kun wanted me to ask if you'd be okay rooming with him so he doesn't have to share a room with Hayato-kun. He said he talked to you about it this morning. Alright, to be honest, I'd totally forgotten about it too. You guys are unbelievable. It's fine by me. If you feel more comfortable being with me than Hayato, I don't mind. Seriously? If someone will end up with a room all to themselves either way, doesn't it make more sense to give that luxury to the guy that places higher in the competition? But it's fine. We don't need to bring ranking into this sort of thing. Keisuke is my friend. He's not comfortable sharing a room with a guy he doesn't know well. I'm fine swapping. Thank you, Yuichi-san. I don't really agree, but I guess it's none of my business. Maybe. Don't tell me that Sho-chan is jealous. Huh? Maybe you think that something will happen if those two share a room. Two hot-blooded guys getting undressed in the same room after hours getting their blood pumping, all sweaty. Excuse me? What? I'm just saying it could happen. Saya-chan, that's a little... You guys might be protesting, but Sho-chan hasn't said a word about it. That's because I cannot even begin to think up words to describe how incredibly stupid that idea is. What? Your imagination creeps me out sometimes, woman. Could you please stop having horny thoughts about my boyfriend? What? I'm not. I was only joking. I'm serious. You guys know I was joking, right? That was a little... I'm uncomfortable. Mizuguchi-san, you have some really dirty thoughts sometimes. I wasn't being dirty, I swear. Thanks to a timely change in subject, as well as some not-so-pleasant narration from Saya, we managed to disarm Shoichi's temper. At least this time. The rest of our lunch was spent mostly talking about the rest of our plans for the trip, with Jun asking us lots of questions about where we'd be staying, when our matches would happen, among other things. Seems he was interested in asking his parents for permission to attend so we could give those of us participating some support. When I asked Shoichi if he'd come, he smiled at me and said that he'd look into it. I guess it won't be so easy for him to get time off for that, huh? Here's hoping. A few hours later... After what seemed like an endless day where I did everything but focus on my classes, as soon as the bell rang, I was ready to head out to the court and hit some balls as hard as I could to work out some of my frustration. Maybe even help me clear my head along the way. Anything would be better than constantly going back and forth on all the stuff I have in my head right now. Wait up! However, as I'm halfway to the gym building, I hear a voice just a few steps behind me. Shoichi? Did you not hear me? I called out to you before you even left the building. You did? Sorry, I have a lot on my mind. After this morning, I don't exactly blame you. I know lunch was a little much. It wasn't that bad. Oh, please, Sai-chan was being relentless. Is it too much to ask for people to mind their own business? She was just worried about you, Shoichi. We all are. Please don't start asking me to take a break, too. Would it really be so bad? Yes, you! I have a ton of things I need to get done. I don't have the time right now. You don't really need to do all of them by yourself, though. You can rely on other people for that sort of thing. Please, I need to do it myself to make sure it's done right. Everyone else just wrecks stuff. Ouch. I don't think Kiga-kun would be happy to hear him saying that. Shoichi, can't you take a little break, please? For me? Let's hang out tomorrow. I'll be away for a few days, so I won't have time for ourselves. And we won't have time for ourselves. We should at least get together tomorrow and have some fun before I leave. No work, no worries, just us. Alright, it's hard to say no when you put it like that. Don't tell me you're actually looking for a way to refuse. I'll be super sad for both of us. Do you think you'll be able to come to Yokohama to watch my games? I don't know. I doubt Dad would be okay with me skipping class. Won't you at least try? I can try, but I can't make any promises. That's okay. I should get going now, though. I just wanted to see you for a bit before I got back to work. Again with work? Hey, if I'm going to take a break tomorrow, then I need to at least get some more stuff done today to justify it. Stop talking about work so much, you freak. You're not a 50-year-old salaryman. Stop acting like one. Don't look at me like that. Like what? That look of disapproval that you can barely hide. I'm not. Sure. Either way, I have to go now. I'll talk to you later. See you later. See you. Just as quickly as he'd shown up. Yeah, that's okay. Shoichi's dad, Takahiko-san, you fucking suck. Just as quickly as he'd shown up, Shoichi runs off to the secondary building, back to the student council room and his precious work. Damn it. I'm trying not to worry, but he's really not making it easy. I need to come up with a way to be more convincing. There's only so many times I can beg him to spend time with me instead of doing work. I need to figure out a way to get him to go back to the volleyball club. At least when he was there, he was a little more sane. I really need to hit something right now. It's a good thing I'm heading to practice. June 8th, Wednesday. I'm going through my travel bag one last time before heading to class, making sure that everything is packed and ready to leave later at night. I could spare the time to do it after class, since those will be heading to the competition are excused from practice today, but this is the kind of thing I don't mess around with. When I was a kid, there were a few times where I left packing and getting ready to leave to the last minute, and I would always forget something important. No one wants to be the kid that has to call his mom and have her travel to another city to bring him underwear. You brought your bag downstairs? Aki comes down to his room, setting his bag down next to him and taking a seat on the couch to put on his socks. Yeah, that way I can just pick it up on my way out the door when I have to leave later tonight. I talked to my coach about your trip last week. There was some talk of getting a bus and taking kids whose parents sign off on it to watch the competition. Considering how much your club costs per month, taking guys to watch competitions is the least they could do. It also helps that we have a few high school players competing in it too. No kidding! I'll make sure to crush them extra thoroughly. Please don't. I have to see these people every day. And then you'll be able to tell them every day that your older brother was the one who kicked their asses! I'm pretty sure I'd take a racket to the head if I did that. Then I would have to really kick their asses. Settle down. Okay, I seem to have packed enough socks and underwear. I have shirts for practice, shirts for my matches, shirts to wear around the hotel. I'll bring a pair of pants and a few shorts just to make sure. It never hurts to bring extras. Sometimes if a match goes on for too long, I change shirts in the middle of it if one is too sweaty. Alright, I'll have to get some shampoo and soap. I don't like the ones that hotels tend to supply. What hotel are you guys staying at? Actually, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure we were told the name at some point, but I forgot. You need to pay more attention to this kind of thing. Yeah. Give me a break. I have a lot on my mind. This is the second biggest competition of the year, and this is my last year as a junior player. What? Nothing, nothing. A bit surprised that you think about that stuff. That's all. Of course I'll think about it. This is a big deal to me. We both know you're already qualified to the next stage anyway. The only thing getting affected here is your seed ranking, which is also a big deal. If I want to get that first round bye, I need to make sure I don't lose my second seed position. Or you could shoot for winning this tournament and getting a first seed position. You just have to beat Tanabe-kun. No big deal. It's a possibility. Hey, you actually went along with it. You usually brush me off when I say things like that. Maybe I'm a bit more confident this year. I don't know. We'll have to see. I can't wait to see it. You talk as if you know for sure that you're going to be there to watch it. Yeah, even if the club doesn't take me, Mom could get someone too. I haven't missed any of your big competitions since you started high school. That's true. If anything, Aki has been my staunchest supporter for the past few years. Honestly, the only thing bugging me right now is that I don't know if Shoichi will be there. I mean, I get it. He's even more busy this year than he was in the years prior. But this is my last Kanto Junior competition, and he's my boyfriend now. It would feel lame if he wasn't there, but I'll refrain from saying that to him. I know Shoichi. I know he already feels guilty about it. I don't need to add on to it. Oops, I forgot to pack towels. Just use the hotel towels? Not bath towels. I mean towels to wipe myself when I'm playing. Oh, yeah, you should probably pack those. Playing during summer months is already tough enough without having a way to dry my fur. I remember this one time I forgot to bring any towels with me and couldn't wipe myself for the entire day. I ended up with some serious chafing around my thighs thanks to all the wet fur clumping together and rubbing against my skin. Just as I'm done to my last checks and about to go grab a few towels, I hear a knock on the door. You could be showing up at this time of the morning. Is it some kind of delivery, maybe? Can you go check who's there? I'm gonna get some towels from the laundry room. No problem. Aki heads to the front door while I finish moving things around in my bag to make space for my towels. Shoichi ni? I'm halfway to the laundry room when I hear Shoichi's name, causing me to freeze on the spot. I quickly spin around on my heels, facing the entrance hall just in time to see Shoichi and Aki emerging from it. Shoichi? What are you doing here? Sorry to drop by unannounced. I'd have messaged, but I decided to swing by at the last minute. That's fine. It's not like you need a reason to come over. I'm just surprised. We'd agreed to hang out after class today, so I figured I wouldn't see you until at least lunchtime. I got a bit impatient. Did you come to walk to school with Aniki? You two haven't done that in a while. Yeah, we've barely walked to school together after starting high school. Is that why you came over? You just wanted to walk to school together? Kinda, that and check up on you. I figured you'd be preparing your bag right about now. Besides, I'm going to be a little busy once we get to school, so I know I won't be able to hang out before homeroom. At least if I walk with you, we'll get to chat for a bit. Shoichi looks off to the side, spotting my opened travel bag and flashing a smile. Seems like I was right. Like that would have been hard to guess. Will you be showing up for Aniki's matches tomorrow, Shoichi-ni? At Aki's question, I looked to Shoichi, curious myself to see what kind of response he'll give. Yesterday it was just a maybe after all. Sorry. No dice for the morning matches? For any matches. What? None? At least not for tomorrow. You're not going to watch Aniki's matches? Sorry, Aki-kun. Sorry, you. How come he won't let you go? Is there something else you need to be doing right now? It's not like exam season is close or anything. No, not really. At least there isn't anything all that major. It's more that I haven't been spending enough time working on my classwork. So he's forbidding you from coming to my matches so you can study? Yes and no. It's kind of my fault. Is it actually? In this case, yeah. We'd made an agreement that I'd avoid going to cram school after class so long as I could keep on top of all my school assignments and keep my grades above a certain amount. I kind of messed up on a few assignments these last few weeks, as in I failed to deliver them entirely. How much stuff are you juggling, and how is this the first I've heard of this? Because we don't talk about schoolwork. Do you want to talk about school assignments when we hang out? God, no! Yeah, I didn't think so. Still, isn't it a bit harsh to not let you go at all? I agree. Thankfully, it shouldn't take me too long to finish them. The teachers in question agreed to let me turn them in late. I don't think I've ever heard of you failing to deliver homework in time before. Yeah, well, I had a lot on my mind recently. I can imagine. Crap, it's hard not to feel responsible when I know how much stuff we've been going through recently. Getting used to dating, spending more time together, our arguing, the trouble I got Shoichi in with his dad. Yeah, it's okay, you don't have to worry about missing a day. It's not like any of the first day matches are a big deal. That's true. I expect you to blitz through all of them without much issue. I'd still rather have had Shoichi there with me for support, but I don't want to overburden him. Still, not letting him come to my competition is cruel, Takahiko-san. Now, is there anything I can help you with? I'm pretty good at organizing travel bags. You're about a day too late for that. I've already got most of everything packed away. Damn. I should have swung by last night. I completely forgot. I don't blame you. You don't usually help me pack, so it's normal for it not to cross your mind. Still, I wanted to help. That's sweet of you, but I'm all good. Bleh. I know that you two are dating now and everything, but save the flirting for when you're alone. Aki, don't be rude. How's that rude? I was not prepared to be called out by Aki of all people. Huh? What did I do? It's easy to forget that you know. That's the problem here. It's not good for our hearts when you mention it out of nowhere. Thank God Mom was around to hear that. I'm not stupid, you know. I wouldn't say it around her. But I still think you should tell her soon. There's no reason to keep it a secret. There's lots of reasons to keep it a secret. Just because they're too young to understand them doesn't mean that they're not there. But then again, it's way too early to be having this argument. Yeah, I will eventually, when I'm ready. What about you, Shoichini? Did you tell your family yet? Aki, don't you have something better to do right now? It's 7:30 a.m. What do you think? I think you should go check on your homework before you leave. Aki rolls his eyes, groaning in dissatisfaction. Whatever, but this is something you need to talk about eventually. You know I'm right. Go. Aki grumbles, grabbing his bag and heading back upstairs to his room. Since we don't leave for at least another 10 minutes, at least I can make sure he won't harass me and Shoichi about this. The last thing I need right now is for someone who doesn't understand Shoichi's family situation to be trying to give their opinion. Sorry, I guess he's done being subtle about knowing? No kidding. I forgot you told me about that. My heart nearly stopped when he mentioned it. So is there anything else you wanted dropping by early? I'm asking again in case you didn't want to say it with Aki nearby. I wanted to spend time with you, that's all, since I won't be able to see you tomorrow and all. It's just one day, it's not going to kill you. We can go a day without seeing each other. We can, doesn't mean I want to. No, look at you being all clingy and stuff. I can still turn around and head to school on my own, you know. Don't be ridiculous, you're already here. It's a matter of principle. Quite flexible and shifty for a principal. Ugh, fine, not principle, maybe pride? Just sit down. Shoichi laughs, looking me in the eye and making sure I can see him as he leans against the back of the couch, intentionally ignoring what I just said. Wow, what a rebel. I try my best. Still, you're pretty lucky. Aki seems pretty cool with everything, and we both know you don't have to worry about your mom either. We don't know that. Please, the woman would sooner cry thank you for telling her and hug you than say a single mean word to you. You can never know. These kinds of things can bring out the worst in people. She raised both you and your brother to be kind, polite, and open-minded. A hateful person doesn't do that. You're just stalling. Maybe. Just leave me in my stall alone, okay? You and your stall? Shush! Just saying, I wish I could be this sure that things will go well if I tell my family. Maybe this would be a good excuse to get back in touch with your mom? Sure. Hey, Mom! I know it's been years, and you might even potentially hate me for not keeping in contact. But surprise, I like men, and I'm dating Yuichi. You know, the guy you basically consider a second son. I feel like there might be a bit of a tone issue with that. You get my point. Besides, more than anything, the one I'm scared about is my dad. You think he wouldn't take it well? I don't know. With him, I can't tell how he'd react at all lately. I'm not just to this, and not just to this. Yeah. I think he seemed a lot different than I remember him being. To begin with, he used to be genuinely nice. Even if there was some messed up stuff going on behind the curtains with his marriage, I'd never seen him being mean to Shoichi before, and he'd always treated me super well. If I'd been confused for about how much he's changed, I can't imagine how it is for Shoichi. I really don't want to think about this right now. You'll have to think about it eventually. You can't keep our relationship a secret forever. We can't keep our relationship secret forever. I know. Are you sure there's nothing I can help you with? Nope, I'm all done packing. Well, other than the towels I was about to go fetch when you showed up. You're so organized with some things, and so not with others. It's weird. Gotta leave you guessing. It's how we maintain the mystery in our relationship. I've known you for 12 years. The mystery is already dead and buried. But who killed it? Now that's a mystery. You're an idiot. You love me. My point still stands. I try to pretend like I didn't notice his tail wagging the entire time we're talking. Even when he's being pouty or acting all grumpy like he is now. I quickly go to the laundry room and grab a few fresh towels to put away. Shoichi follows me around, chatting while I finish organizing everything to make sure I'm ready for the trip. At least he's right in that reading him, and now he's feeling is definitely no mystery. For instance, it's pretty clear when his mood is starting to tank and I should change the subject on him. Then again, he's never been the best at masking his emotions in the first place. Which just makes me wonder how the hell I managed to not notice his feelings for me for so long. I really don't want to call myself enormously dense, but I seriously can't think of another reasonable explanation. Hello? Earth to you? Did you zone out on me? No, I was listening. I wasn't saying anything. I mean, I was trying to think of what I should say. You might just be an even worse liar than me. No way, I'm a much better liar than you. I've lied to you tons of times without you noticing. Is that so? Okay, then tell me something you've lied to me about before. Go on, I'm waiting. On second thought, yes. Crap, I might have shot myself in the foot here. Sometime later. Once I was sure I wasn't forgetting anything else, I closed up my bag and dropped it next to the shoe rack by the front door. Luckily, Aki had made his way downstairs by then, so I didn't have to go fetch him so we could all walk to school together. Service ace, I wish you could have seen it. It does sound pretty awesome, Aki-kun. Sounds like you've been improving lots recently. I have! Aki wastes no time in hogging Shoichi's attention, regaling to him stories of his recent practice sessions with great enthusiasm. Nah, this is adorable. I don't know whether to be jealous of my boyfriend or my little brother. Either way, it feels weird to be ignored this hard. Then again, Aki always seems more energetic when Shoichi or Saya are around, so it's no great surprise. And it's not like he hasn't told me these stories a few days ago already. It's been a while since I've last watched you play. Maybe I should drop by someday and see for myself just how much you've improved, eh, Aki? I try interjecting mostly so I don't keep getting left out of the conversation. Oh, that's a great idea! There we go. Why don't you come watch me play sometime, Shoichi? Come on, pretty please! Damn! Just damn! Damn! Yeah, of course I would. I'll try to find time for it. So close! Yet so far! You sure get excited about spending time with Shoichi, huh? Of course! I rarely get to nowadays! Is it really that rare? Don't let him guilt trip you, Shoichi. I'm not trying to. I know that Shoichi is very busy. That's why I don't say anything most of the time. But if I'm given the chance to hang out like we used to a few years ago, I'll take it. How come? Come on, don't look so down, you. How come you're only this cute when Shoichi's around? What am I, chopped liver? That's what you're worried about? And that's why I don't get excited about spending time with you as much anymore. No fair! I tried so hard and got so far. In the end, it doesn't even matter. I put my trust in you, pushed as far as I can go. Words can't bring me down. I am beautiful. Anyways, you tried to forbid me from going to a friend's house last week. Yuichi, don't try to make me out to be unreasonable here. You know it was because he had fleas. Oh, that's actually not a bad in 3rd grade! He had fleas in 3rd grade! Yuichi. What? What's with that look? Oh, shit. Don't look at me with those judgy eyes. And don't stay quiet either. Say something. All of that aside, I can try to make some free time for after Yuichi gets back from the tournament to try and visit. Maybe I could even spend the night. The last time I did, you weren't home, so we didn't get to see each other. Yay, I love that! Wait. Wasn't the last time Shoichi spent the night when we... Oh. I'm so glad Aki wasn't home then. Aniki, is something wrong? Do you not like the idea of Shoichi coming for a sleepover? Uh-huh. Why would you ask that? Because you have a weird look on your face. No, not at all. It's been a while since Shoichi spent the night. Of course I'd want to have him over. That's not the kind of thing I'd mention with my little brother around. I'll make sure to have a talk with Shoichi later about expectations if he's going to come over to spend the night like that. I'm fine with cuddling and sharing a bed, but I'd rather not feel pressured into anything past that. If the mood's right, then maybe. I'd just rather know that he's not expecting it. Ugh. Am I overthinking this? Are you sure you're okay? Now your face is getting a bit red. Oh, it's true, Aniki. Do you have a fever? Oh no. These aren't the droids you're looking for. The hell is that supposed to mean? Weirdo. I think I heard Sayani mutter that once before when she was flustered. Sometime later. We're gonna leave off here tonight. Yeah, it would be best because like within the last few minutes, like I had a beautiful singing performance. I had a beautiful singing performance. Anyways, stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.